but I just want to welcome you here to the Lodge at Crandall's Park here in Tolland. But to start it off, I would like to introduce our brand new President of the Tolland County Chamber, Carla Vince, from Visiting Nurse and Health Services of Connecticut.
Well, good evening, everyone. I thank you all for coming to the Tolland County Chamber's 67th annual meeting and their awards celebration. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as the new president of the Tolland County Chamber of Commerce. I want to express my deepest gratitude to Marie O'Brien, who could not be with us tonight, but she is the outgoing president, and to thank her for her dedicated leadership and vision this past year. I look forward to working with Melissa Smith, Executive Director of the Tolland County Chamber, for the coming year. At this time, I would really like to take a moment to recognize and acknowledge the hard work and dedication of our board members. If you could please stand. Thank you very much. Your commitment and passion are the lifeblood of our chamber, and I am excited to work alongside each of you in the coming year. I would also like to recognize and acknowledge our Economic Development Commission members. If you would please stand. Thank you. Thank you. These individuals will be presenting the business awards this evening. As I step into this role, I am reminded of the vital mission of our chamber: to advocate for our businesses, to foster economic growth, and to build a thriving community for all. Our vision is one where we empower our local businesses to thrive, innovate, and adapt to the ever-changing landscape of our economy. We cannot do this alone. We need your support, your ideas, and your engagement. I encourage each of you to take an active role in our chamber's initiatives, attend our events, share your insights, and connect with one another. Together, we can cultivate a culture of collaboration that empowers us all. As I embark on this journey in the year ahead, I am filled with the optimism for what we can achieve together. Let's make this year one of growth, innovation, and connection. Thank you for your trust, your partnership, and your commitment to our shared mission. Here is to a successful year ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to our sponsors who certainly helped make this happen. Carla Vince family. Carla. Weishalen Zahansky, Strategic Wealth Advisors. And last but not least, Jennifer Lamphere, State Farm Agency. There she is. And now I would like to introduce our guest speaker for the evening, Deborah Weymouth. She is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Eastern Connecticut Health Network and Waterbury Health. Welcome, Deborah.
So, as I said, I appreciate being here. I know you just referenced collaboration and innovation, and if you've been in the world of healthcare recently, you know something's clearly going on. We have a lot of moving forces there, and I'm going to spend a couple of minutes just taking you through what's happening in healthcare and why it's important that you know that and understand about it. It's great if you're completely healthy and you've got nothing going on, but should you or a loved one suddenly experience an accident or some chronic disease, it's very important to kind of understand the world of healthcare and see where you fit. So we had, let me see if I can get this to move the other way. We had an opportunity during COVID-19 to be the savior. Everybody kind of came out of the woods and gave us free food, and they were really happy we were there. And almost immediately at the end of COVID-19, it seemed like all of healthcare lost its glow. Suddenly, we were too expensive, we were inconvenient, and gosh, I don't know why my doctor never called me back. So we kind of went from this great position down to not so much. We're still at not so much right now. So these are the main forces that are occurring right now in healthcare. To begin with, the last of the baby boomers just turned 60 this year. I won't even ask how many of you in this room fit in that criteria, but as you age, clearly you will need more health care. Coupled with that, there are fewer people to care for you. As you probably have heard, there is a nursing crisis, there's a crisis with providers and physicians, and as that baby boomer population gets older, the big question is, will we have enough caregivers available to take care of them? Lots of emphasis in the political world and in the local environment to cost less in healthcare. It's an expensive endeavor, and we're getting a lot of pressure to reduce costs and move into what's called value-based care, which is where the hospital and provider get paid one lump sum for an entire condition. So for example, you go in and you get your knee replaced, the hospital would get one amount to cover everything. The surgeon, the rehab, the implant, all of your stay. In theory, what that does is motivate all of your providers and the hospital to give you great care up front so you don't stay too long, and that you're motivated to leave rather quickly because the amount of money they get paid isn't going to change. So that's value-based care, and that's currently underway with Medicare and a few other payers. Huge advances in technology and pharmaceuticals, as everybody knows. In the old days, you used to go in for a gallbladder and be there for 2 weeks. Now you're kind of in and out same day, you're back home. Same thing with pharmaceuticals, big changes going on there. We have a big pressure currently to focus on health equity and demographics of our community, and I'm going to speak more about that a little bit later, but very important. And I'm sure you've read these studies where people will live literally 5 miles apart, and their difference in life expectancy is 10 and 15 years. So that, by your zip code, actually determining the length of your life. So again, we'll get back to that. Consumer expectations. Everybody's been to a good hotel, right? A great restaurant. You expect the same thing when you go into your local hospital. You're not going to get it. So as those consumer expectations change, obviously the industry needs to react accordingly. Big issue with behavioral health. Everybody probably knows somebody who has had a need for psychiatric services, whether with an addiction problem or with behavioral health in general. And that is increasingly becoming more and more of the population that we serve. And last but not least, we all take a big active role in wellness and prevention. And I urge you to do that and educate yourself if you haven't yet. But where does that fit into the world of healthcare? So these are the forces, for the most part, the big ones that are influencing the industry. So I'm just going to real quick go through a couple of these in detail. Obviously, we need new models of care because of the industry changes and the patient dissatisfaction. And here's one that will hit close to home. This is hospital closures, and you can see the time from 2016 to 2021, before and after the public health emergency, and you continue to see closures happening. 453 hospitals nationwide are currently threatened to be closed in the near future, and 43% of community hospitals are operating in the red. So these are important facts as we go through and address the future. Will your provider be there? Will the hospital be there at the end of the day is the question. So we've seen some of these services locally in terms of maternal health that has been changed or closed, behavioral health closures, certain centers, and then of course home health. These are the major ones. But important to note that 40% of service line closures in the United States relate currently to maternal health. Anybody know why that is? It's not that we're against babies.
malpractice.
Less children? No, not less children.
Malpractice.
No, not insurance, but good guess. Actually, the issue is to deliver that care when things go right, it really goes right. But when things go wrong, you have to have a major infrastructure of a NICU, immediate blood products, all kinds of things, because when it goes wrong with a newborn, it goes wrong fast, and just having a baby at home worked when things go well, but boy, it doesn't when things go south. So because of the risk and the infrastructure, people in fact are getting out of that business. So the workforce I mentioned earlier, yep, there's fewer of them. 22% RN turnover this past couple of years, 16% national vacancy rate in nurses, and over 60% of the nurses we do have experiencing burnout. So we're really, feeling this as an industry, and it is a concern for all of us. So what's happening, and what's the role of community? Well, you've heard about our transaction, I'm sure, at least I hope you have. It's gone on for 3 years and won the award for taking the longest of any approval in the state of Connecticut ever. So what's happening in the industry is you start to see this hub and spoke model. You can see it clearly with Hartford, you'll see it with others, where there's a main academic medical center and smaller community hospitals off of that then work together in one system. That is also complemented by local services, i.e. your local community hospital, and then by neighborhood services. So a real quick way, if you ever want to know if you're at a tertiary hospital or a community hospital, and these are in levels of care, primary level of care, secondary, tertiary, and so forth. So as you get into tertiary level of care, like you would see at a Yale Medical Center, a UMass, Mass General, the physicians will have 3 subspecialties after their name. So it will be a pediatric orthopedic oncologist, right? Because they are part of a hub that's an academic medical center. When you move out from the hub, the number of names that go with the doctor go down. So in a community hospital, you'll get an orthopedic surgeon, or one name attached to that provider. So that's an easy way for you to tell kind of the level of care that you're in. The tertiary level of care, those with 3 names attached, are incredibly expensive, and not every community can afford them. So what happens then is they end up doing the hub and spoke model. Now the local access to neighborhood services is critically important. Because it allows you to have the first blush at care, and it allows them to triage your level of care to either move you into a local community hospital or a hub. So, health systems, where we're going into the future. Well, we need to have some of these things for us to modify our current level of care to be successful. So we have to have some flexibility in our workforce, at the same time save money, improve our outcomes, and go back to that value-based care that I referenced. And we need to give consumers more choice, so that you feel like you're in control of your health care and that somebody understands your whole seamless patient journey. Nothing is more uncomfortable than listening to one doc who prescribes something and another physician will say, here, I want you to go on this, without looking to see that those medications don't work together. So we need to have somebody who understands the whole journey as you go through your care. So what's happening right now in the world of healthcare, and we've experienced this here in Connecticut, is that different groups of funding are moving into healthcare. You're probably aware that ECHN and Waterbury, as well as Rockville, are owned by a private equity firm. okay, I believe will be the last of private equity in the state of Connecticut. It didn't go so well. So, but what's also happening currently is physician practices are being purchased by private equity. Right now in our community, I can say the vast majority of big practices have been purchased by private equity. So if you've ever dealt with them, you know that what they're after is a small investment and a big return in about 3 to 5 years. So what's happening now is that physicians and physician groups are experiencing this same phenomena that we did at ECHN with that kind of funding. So another option is to be a niche provider, i.e. only focus on one particular line of care and or become a system, like I mentioned before, in terms of the hub and spoke. So here's the game changer, the digital world and how it's going to impact healthcare. So what happens now, and this is a quick little care journey, if you will, is that when you go in to schedule a visit, those folks have the ability to steer your decision. And that becomes incredibly valuable to the insurance companies, right? So Aetna, Cigna, Blue Cross, all of them who are for-profit entities, and do quite well, I might add, are very interested in where you're steered to as a patient. They want you in their network because they can then control the costs as you go through your care journey. So as we move into more and more of a digital world, whether it be a virtual visit, a virtual follow-up, something you're doing through your own portal, talking to your own provider, insurance companies are desperately interested in that, and this, in fact, will continue to offer a wider variety of care at low cost. So this is where we are in this. This continuum, if you read across the bottom, is administrative applications, and as you go up, they are kind of more real clinical applications. So right now we're down into this world with AI and with the digital world where we can do calculations to understand population health risk. We can understand capacity and staffing management. But as we go out further and further, some of these things will occur. Others, as they say on here, are simply imaginative and will probably never get there. But you can see that the digital world will have a huge future in healthcare. It started already. Everybody have a patient portal? Everybody got one? Okay, so you already know, you're there. And now that will continue to move forward as you get your healthcare monitored and taken care of. This is just a real quick slide on mergers and acquisitions that have taken place in the healthcare industry, and you see that number going higher and higher. The purchase price for ECHN and Waterbury was $435 million with Yale, so you can see that fits in nicely into that graph. So this also just is a quick demonstration of others jumping into the healthcare world, whether it be Walmart, Amazon, CVS, Walgreens. And this is the continuum of care, going through the front door where they can manage your care, all the way through offering an insurance product. And this is the level of investment that these companies have made into healthcare. I put the business part of this for you guys. So that's it gives you a sense of how much money is at play and where the big players are in the industry.
Is that a T?
What?
That was
Trillion.
Yeah.
Yeah. T is for trillion. Yep. So again, just an example of some new players in healthcare. If you were aware, last year this Change Healthcare actually had a cyber event. Do you know it touched 67% of the people in the United States? So it gives you a sense of how big they are and how far they reach. So this is just another point about healthcare tourism. This shows you how far people are willing to travel for expertise in healthcare. This big circle on the bottom is where MD Anderson is. 52% of their population comes from that huge market area. So you can see that this Mayo Clinic, for example, another big one, people will travel for quality of care. We were just chatting over dinner, or snacks, someone at our table made the statement that their loved one was going to go to Dana-Farber. People don't think anything about that because that's one of those spots that people will travel for quality care. So healthcare tourism is another issue. So the role of the community. As I said before, social determinants of health, health equity. What can we do together? We can collaborate. We can get signs and symptoms of disease out to schools, businesses, local governments, so we're all on the same page about that. We can also work together on policy decisions. If you live in a neighborhood with no sidewalks, it obviously relates to a higher percentage of obesity if you can't even go outside or you can't feel safe. So all those things drive healthcare. Things we can do together, as I said before, health education, public-private partnerships, and then our community advocacy for healthcare. This is the slide I really wanted to show you about social determinants. So this is actually what drives your healthcare percentages. 40% of your healthcare comes from your education, job status, family support, and your income level. 10% from your physical environment. Do you have lead pipes? Do you have asbestos? Those kind of things. And then another 30% from healthy behaviors. Don't smoke, don't drink, you work out. And then healthcare, which we're talking about tonight, is only 20% of a factor of a person's overall health in their lifetime. So you can see all of these other things we can work together on to influence people making good decisions to stay healthier longer. So thank you very much and congratulations.
Now we're going to get down to our well-deserved 2024 Business Award winners. So we will start with Connecticut Halo Transportation LLC, Kimberly Howard. Presented by Elaine Booker.
Kim O'Halloran was actually helping us out and working at the chamber for a little while. And in the process, she was setting up this company, Connecticut Halo Transportation Company. And her team provided a much-needed service to our communities, whether it's for leisure, like a trip to the airport, train, or business station, or for important needs such as medical appointments or school. Halo Transportation is there to help. And with friendly staff, clean cars, easy booking, reasonable prices, being woman-owned, they offer a winning combination.
Well, thank you everyone for the opportunity to be standing up here. I know many of your faces and you probably remember me from Pace Transportation. So I've been in the industry for 7 years and it's been quite a journey. It's been exciting. I was able to be with Missy also at the Tolland Chamber, County Chamber, and had a great ride with that as well. Rise and shine. I expressed many times to Missy that during all my networking events that I've been out there in the communities, just out there being with everybody, I went through some type of separation anxiety because now I'm in the seat full time with our company and I'm never more grateful for that company. I could go on and on about the backstory and how good God has been, and you know at Halo, we don't know what the day holds, we really don't know. But we know who holds the day. And last year we had close to 300 completions, and that was, we opened up in June, so we had about 300 completions. And this year we're over 4,000 runs. And thank you. state of Connecticut, we have the Connecticut medical contract. So we do see a lot of what Deb has mentioned. And we see a lot of mental health early in the morning. Our mornings start as early as 4:30 in the morning, picking them up, taking people to and from methadone clinics. And then we scoot on into your regular medical appointments. And we have been requested for events, as she mentioned as well. Yes, they will travel. I just took a woman out to Boston for a breast cancer surgery. So people do travel to go to wherever they feel comfortable getting their health care. Our airport rides have completely exploded. So yeah, we are very, very grateful. I will, I put our paper out on the table. I do have a partner. Unfortunately, she was unable to make it. You can find us on Route 6 at DNS Yard Works. That's Halo Transportation as well. Susie and I have been friends since kindergarten, and she believed in me and wanted to do business with me. So here we are, state capital, out in the communities, wherever there's a need, we are there, and we have the passion for the people, and I believe it's our calling. So thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you. I was fortunate to have the chance to meet Renee yesterday. I stopped in to see what it was all about, and I got to meet Renee and Kaylee, and we had a really nice conversation. I learned a little bit about the organization, which I really didn't know much about before, and I'm sure you can tell us more about it. From what I know, they were founded in 2009 and moved to Rockville in 2014, and since then this nonprofit's been supporting people with intellectual and physical disabilities in Eastern Connecticut, get meaningful vocational training, and also get gainful employment opportunities that fit their own specific needs. They've got a flower shop in Putnam, a horticultural program in Danielson. Up until COVID threw them out, they had a really nice cafe in the Rockville courthouse, but unfortunately no one goes to court anymore. There's a craft store in Rockville, and I just learned about a grant with the recent expansion to have a floral shop in Rockville too, which would be really, really nice as an adjunct to the hospital, which is right down the road. So they're at West Street, if anyone's familiar with the area. It's right next to the planning and zoning department, which I'm in all the time. So Renee, it's really my pleasure to present you with this award, and I thank you for all the work you're doing. Thank you very much.
I was going to say thank you very much. There's a lot of people in this room that I would love to talk to about employment for individuals with intellectual disabilities or transportation there too. And come and find me if you want to. But thank you very much. We appreciate being recognized. Absolutely.
Studio 467, Remaxa.
Well, just by way of a brief introduction, the Studio 467 and Breeze Art Studio there, which is an art and pottery studio, has been a beautiful example of how a small business can bring prosperity and inspiration to her community. Until she's got a vision of making Rockville a downtown arts district. They offer creative education for all ages and all levels. I mean, beginner to experience. So it looks very interesting. They have art showings, exhibits, classes. This is right around the corner on West Street, also at 23 West Street.
Yes, I know Renee well. It's a wonderful organization.
Yeah. So we thank you for your contribution to the community, to the beauty you're bringing, to the skills you're teaching people, and just for your passion in general.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I run an art studio. I have a gallery up in front, and I work with clay. And I teach people how to work with clay from beginning to end. And then I have art space that I rent to artists. And they also show in the gallery and have an opportunity to make work. And then I also have people who are members, and those people can come into my studio and create work independently 6 days a week. I'm also a professor at Springfield College, and I'm on the board in town because we're looking to redistrict that area, a artist and cultural district. art brings in people, it brings in money, it brings in good restaurants, it brings in fun. The next show that's coming up is my show. It's gonna be at my studio for a month, and then it'll move to Springfield College and be part of another show there. It is being called One Bowl, One Soul. I'm making 1,452 small bowls. To give you an idea, you touch a bowl at least 20 times from beginning to end. And this number signifies the amount of people who lost their life to an accidental drug overdose. The year somebody very important to me got sober. And that's the amount of people who passed during that time. And then I have a very close friend, my mom's best friend's daughter, who I grew up with, unfortunately, passed from fentanyl. I'm going to have 1,450, come by a bowl. Come by a bowl, but half the proceeds are going to be going to a organization of that person's choice. It's really just to be able to talk about a subject that's hard to discuss, but you can talk about it about a bowl. It's going to be a wonderful event, and I'm just, excited to see everybody and make sure that, that arts are in downtown, and I'm trying to take over. Thank you all for this.
Next up, Modern Style Events. So this is on Tolland Road. Modern Styles is about a year now that we've been in business. They're a great addition to the community. They've got a beautiful modern hall on Tocqueville Road at 400 Tocqueville Road under that Florida America complex for anyone who's interested. They've got over 4,700 square feet. They can accommodate up to 200 guests. It's a private event function place. They can help you decorate it, right? I saw some of your pictures online. That would be really neat. It can be catered. You can bring your own food. And in the past year, they've hosted over 150 gatherings already. So they're really becoming a place of choice, and we welcome you to the community, and we hope you have success. Thank you.
We started this because we enjoy other people's, we want to be a part of other people's celebration. So we were able to provide a place where we could come celebrate at a reasonable price. And it's been a great experience for last year being part of Sweet 16's, wedding ceremonies, corporate events and corporate celebrations and other events. So we're going to continue to be a part of these special events, and hopefully one of you guys reach out to us and we could host your event there. So thank you very much for working. We appreciate it.
Access Community Health Action Agency. The Action Community Action Agency is a federally designated nonprofit community action agency, and Access has worked with low-income population of Eastern Connecticut since 1965. They take a comprehensive, holistic approach to examining the poverty-related challenges our customers and their families face. With them, develop customized individual plans to help them overcome those challenges. Access is used as a resource for several towns that don't have their own services. And I'm with the town of Andover, we have nothing. We really depend on agencies like Access to help our population. They've got a wonderful senior housing complex in Tolland, which we got to do a business over breakfast and see it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Parker, please.
We do have 3 openings.
They serve Tolland and Windham counties. They now have a beautiful mobile food pantry truck, making it possible to provide nutritional food to an additional 700 families in our community. And because nobody should struggle with food in the United States of America.
Yeah, thank you all. I'm here to be honest with you, I'm the CEO of that. Kathleen Kreider is the one who makes all the trains run on time. With all of our community outreach and overseeing HR and fundraising.
Lots of other.
So thanks to Kathleen and her staff and the work of our food pantry staff, we were able to get it was reference a mobile food pantry. Connecticut Food Share gave us a grant, $140,000, purchase this farmer's truck. Now, we had a smaller van that we're going around the two counties now. It's going to get, it's going to let us get out to more sites and really provide a customer choice approach. We can actually shop. We have site-based food pantries where people can shop for their goods, and now we have this mobile pantry that people can also shop at. We really focus on three things. We focus on food security, affordable housing. We have over 200 units of affordable housing either owned and/or managed. And we work on what we call jobs and other pathways to self-reliance. Those are the three areas we focus on. We've been around since 1965. Our main office is based in Romantic, Indiana, so we do serve both Woodland and Tolland County. Add anything, Kathleen?
Well, just that it's been such a pleasure over the many years, first getting to know Candace and then getting to know Melissa and this group of people in the Tolland County Chamber. We can't do the work that we do without all of you supporting us and paying attention to who we are. Thank you so much for mentioning the town of Andover. Like we said, we're in Tolland County, and for all the small communities that don't have human services departments, that's who we are to you. We also want to give a shout out to Matt Hellman, who is the Vernon Social Services Director and is a member of our board of directors. So the Vernon Rockville area and Tolland County in general is well represented in the way in which we get our work done for all of you. So thank you very much. And then it's super, super excellent that we're sharing this award with another super excellent agency in your community. So congratulations.
I want to say right now is we're about partnerships, right? We keep breaking on my favorite, one of our values is 6 values synergy, right? Because it's really all about partnering, getting more out of a partnership than you would get working separately. And so we're really all about partnering. We don't do anything alone. We partner together with staff, we partner with the folks we serve, we partner with other community providers, with our funders. So it's all about working together. So pleased to be here and share in this partnership.
Thank you. Well deserved. We'll go right here to the Cornerstone Foundation.
All right, so I'm introducing myself maybe for the first time. Sharon Redford, and Tom Stopper, right?
Yes.
So first off, I do want to give a shout out to Missy, as I always do, because without you and the energy you're putting into all of this, it wouldn't happen. And frankly, this is like a forever type of a thing, don't you think?
Yeah.
And as she said, it's kind of a weapon on the backside.
My eyes.
How many here actually attended last year's event when we were giving awards? Okay, so if you remember, we actually did not have this category, nonprofit. So I want to give a shout out to the fellow committee members on the Economic Development Committee. Out of the meetings that we have meetings every month for the past few months leading up to this, where we first talk about what are we going to give out? And we always have these decision points. Oh no, we have multiple nominees. What are we going to do? So you can see, there was no way we could select just one category, award winner. So that was one good thing, and thank goodness we decided to go that route. But also nonprofit of the year, or nonprofits of the year. So also very meaningful, because the not-for-profits, nonprofits here in our community, they help so many different people. And I'm scratching my head as I was listening to the stories, why we didn't do this before. We knew they were all around us. So Cornerstone is literally a cornerstone, right? And I haven't read my notes yet, so I'm totally off script already. But I grew up in Vernon, and I live in Ellington, and Cornerstone is just that name that I think a lot of people know. started by Helen Syriac in 1982. Somebody who had a vision, went to the pastor of Sacred Heart Church and said, we'd like to do this. And in the first year as a shelter, housed 143 individuals, most who were single mothers with children. Think about that in 1982. Okay, so it was very, very important. Today, a much bigger organization touching many more lives, and I would not do any justice in sharing the story, like I'm sure you will. And I also want to look up, as many of us know, that Brian is looking down here.
So from Helen's beginning, where she helped a young man, started off with her giving a young man some money, and him subsequently, 6 months later, being found deceased in the woods, and she always felt she could do more. So she started the shelter. Currently, we have 3 shelters. We have strictly families that we deal with. Right now, we have 13 kids under the age of 5 in our shelters. We're turning families away every day. We also operate a community kitchen. We serve lunch and dinner every Monday through Friday. Hot meal today is macaroni and cheese, absolutely amazing. We serve lunch on Saturdays and Sundays. We have a food pantry. We have a diaper bank, and we have a clothing bank. All of our services are free. Anybody can come to us. We have people come from all over the state. Our goal at Cornerstone is to put ourselves out of business. It's not gonna happen. We strive for that. Every day is a struggle because, we don't have the services to meet the need. We appreciate that a lot of you are supporters of Cornerstone and have helped us keep going. We don't get state or federal money, so we don't rely on donations from individuals. And I have to say, the Tolland and Hartford County, Wyndham County folks have been extremely generous for us to be able to stay in business for over 40 years. So thank you very much to all of you who've been supporters. I know Tom has something to say.
So, my name's Tom Stauffer. I'm the president of the board of directors. You've heard the term reluctant leadership, but something happened that required somebody to step forward, and when you look around the table, if not me, who? And I think a lot of you are in leadership positions that have said that, if not me, who? Okay? This is such an important thing to do in our community. So, it costs $80,000 a month in cash just to keep the doors open at Cornerstone, okay? You have a garbage service at home, maybe not in Andover, not sure. In Ellington we do, but in Ellington it doesn't cost me $21,900 a year to take everybody to my garbage. At Cornerstone we're spending that much money. So it's like, you think about the little things, well, they add up. Utilities cost us $90,000 a year. We have 4 buildings. We have 4 buildings. Now, we gotta keep the heat on. We gotta keep the electric on. And we all are hurting for, increases in our utility bills. And Cornerstone doing the same thing, but multiply. So one of the things, what can we do? Well, we can always help. One of the things I want to invite all of you to is on November 14th. Who's been to Soup Fest before? Okay. So Soup Fest is a one-night fundraiser where we invite, this year, different restaurants coming in. They make soups. It's free to get in. Doesn't cost anything to get in, so it's a great date night. But how do we raise money on Soup Fest? Well, there are people who sponsor, so we have a number of sponsors. We have about $12,000 in sponsors, I believe, this year, much more, 15, okay? The best we've ever done with Soup Fest is raise $30,000 in one night, okay? Now, that is great. The reality is that covers 10 days of operations, okay? So we're doing $30,000 a night, which is phenomenal. but, we need to do more. So, so what can we do as a community? Support events like that. When you see something come through the mail, one of the things we're gonna be working on is a capital campaign. We had to get more information. I was all set to kick it off in January. New board members asked lots of questions, so we're getting answers. So there's going to be an announcement fairly soon when we know how much everything's going to cost, and maybe we'll be able to crowdsource this. So, well, you've probably seen in the newspapers that we've made the first step. We are on the line for $1.51 million in funding that will help replenish housing. I don't know if anybody's heard, but there's a housing crisis. Okay, so I'm not making light of that, but it's like we realize with this renovation that the housing aspect of the renovation might actually be the most important aspect of the renovation. So when you see things come forward, you understand, please know that it's easy to get in touch with us at Cornerstone. If you're interested in helping us with that campaign, to raise the money to do everything we need to do, please let us know. We're easy to get at Cornerstone. So thank you for this award. What a great organization to share it with. It's really cool. And we didn't even know we'd be sitting at the same table. So kind of worked out.
I think we also have to say thank you for having a nonprofit division.
Yes, thank you.
I think people don't realize that nonprofits are the heart and soul of every community. Because they serve people that everybody doesn't think about and keep the community going. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Next up, Keith Bottom Roofing LLC.
Hi, Keith. Very good. I'm Lisa Lula here. I work in the Allison Planning Department. One of the groups I sit with is the Economic Development Commission. They are members of the chamber, and each year they look to give some awards to local businesses. So from what I know, and you can fill in some space here if you would like, Keith Bobbin Roofing is a second-generation family-owned and operated roof replacement contractor in Ellington, Connecticut. Not only do they take pride in providing roof replacement services, they take pride in giving to the local community. They sponsor local Little League teams, donate money to provide free coffee for others, provide rebates to those in the military with their Roofs to Her Troops program, and contribute to local nonprofits and food pantries like Food Share, Crystal Lake Food Pantry, Ellington Food Bank, and Raw Safe Animal Rescue. Because of their dedication to community, the Ellington Economic Development Commission is proud to recommend Keith Bobbin Roofing for the Chamber Citizen Awards Award for 2024.
I do roofing. We do roofing. I've done roofing for the past 8 years. My daughter just started working with me this year. Lindsay was a big part of the business. Roofing has allowed us to give to a lot of organizations that are here tonight. We do a roof for troops. We gave a roof away 2 years ago to a 96-year-old World War II veteran. We've got something, a free roof giveaway coming up in November as well for another friend of mine, a lady. She's a veteran, her whole family's veterans, and she was actually hit by a bike, hit by a dump truck on a bike, and she was in the hospital for months and months and months, and the recovery's been long, so she doesn't know that she's going to be getting a free room in there. That's really it. I keep things light. We have a great Instagram page, really. We keep things light. I talk about dogs, coffee, Louie's Bakery. That's it. We're just thankful that we can give what we can to the organizations here. That's it.
All right, and last but not least, Stafford CDJR. I saw Steve J. There it is.
So, Stafford CDJR has consistently demonstrated its commitment to the community by supporting a wide range of local organizations and events. Their dedication is evident through their sponsorship and involvement with the following. Call Safe. Stafford CDJR has been supporter of Call Safe, helping this organization with its mission to rescue and rehome animals, showing their care for animals' welfare and community involvement. Candlewick Kennels. By partnering with Candlewick Kennels, Stafford CDJR has contributed to the well-being of pets and their owners, reinforcing their support for local businesses and animal services. Other Delights. Through their involvement with Other Delights and ice cream truck, Stafford CDJR has supported local small businesses and contributed to community events, bringing joy and fostering a sense of togetherness. Stafford Lions Club. Stafford CDJR support for the Stafford Lions Club showcases their commitment to civic engagement and their alignment with the Lions Club's mission to serve and support various charitable initiatives. Stillwater Grill. By sponsoring events at Stillwater Grill, Stafford CDJR has shown its dedication to promoting local dining establishment and fostering community gatherings. Stafford High School Booster Club. Their contribution to the Stafford High School Booster Club underlined their investment in youth development and education, helping to provide better opportunities for students. Stafford Fire Departments. Stafford CDJR's support to the Stafford Fire Departments highlights their appreciation for first responders and their role in ensuring community safety. Backroads Barbecue. Supporting Backroads Barbecue reflects Stafford CDJR commitment to local communities, particularly in the food and hospitality sector, further strengthening community ties. In addition to this contribution, Stafford CDJR has actively participated in numerous chamber events, ribbon cuttings, demonstrating their ongoing engagement and support for their business community. Their sponsorship of the Chamber Golf Tournament as a hole-in-one sponsor further showcases their dedication to community events. Moreover, C.G. Jack, the head of the Business Development and Marketing Director at the Stafford CDJR, served as the Tolland Chamber of Commerce chairman, highlighting the company's leadership and commitment to the region's economic development. Stafford CDJR consistently supports across this diverse organization and events exemplifies their role as a corporate citizen, deeply invested in the well-being and growth of their local community. Their contribution has positively impacted various aspects of community life, making them the deserving recipient of the Chamber of Commerce Corporate Citizen Award. Thank you so much.
My growth is it. I want everyone to know we like to eat. We like to care about dogs. And we love giving things that create fabric in the community. I belong to Maverick Motor Group, which is a small motor group. We have 8 stores in 5 states, but there are just a couple of people that actually own it and operate it. They asked me to help join chambers and be parts of communities. So when you do that, you really have to put your hands in the dirt to make it work. Because you're not from here per se, although I'm becoming more and more from here every day. And so when we talk about business to business, business to consumer, business to community, and when you're authentically doing all of that all the time, you start to get this groundswell of something magical happening. And that's what I experienced tonight. So I'm sorry I'm feeling a little teary, but this is, really great. And we didn't know where we were going to go when we first jumped in. We thought, well, okay, let's start with Lions clubs. Let's start with Rotary. Let's start with high schools. The Community Resource Center of Stafford needed a diaper drive for children that didn't have them. So we quickly learned that there's all kinds of obstacles, and sometimes we, as a store, don't have the money. I have a sales department of 4 people. I have, 12 people in the service department. But they all give their heart and soul to every single moment of every day, and it's just a blast to work there. So I don't have a speech of any kind, and I need to wrap up, and I understand, but maybe I'm not, the open mic guy with his phone. I'm just gonna, yeah, because thank you, you covered all of it. Wow. And we also started a poker run, and this is something I want to share with everybody. We got in a bunch of Jeeps, and we ran around town, and we went to other businesses. It was pouring rain in the morning, and not many people came, but we got about 7 or 8 Jeeps together, and we learned about each business, and that's where I wanted to go here to wrap up this. That if we weren't members of this chamber, we wouldn't be exposed to what we all do collectively. Take Access Connecticut, Rise and Shine. Thank you, Melissa, for all of your driving forces for this. Because you introduced us to another organization that has a need that can be served. And again, we might not have every dollar to donate, but we might have some time. We might know other people that can connect those dots. That's what I'm most important. So, thank you. From the bottom of my heart.
I just wanted to quickly thank our sponsors again, because I think they deserve it. Weiss Hill and Zahansky Strategic Wealth Advisors, Jennifer Lampier State Farm Agency, and the Carla Vince family. A quick mention to our volunteers that helped put this together tonight. Daisy Paulus, Debbie Orth, thank you, Deb, Jennifer Lampier, Jennifer Moreau, Carla Vince, Ross Lukenbuehl, and Scorcione. Thank you all very much.
And thank you, Missy, for all that you do for all.
I need to thank Missy. We have a great partnership for the chamber. We really have great aspirations for the coming year, and thank you, Deborah, for a fabulous presentation this evening.
And just the last closing remarks are congratulations to our Business Award winners. Thank you all for coming out and celebrating.